Hello, all you beautiful people out there, and welcome to Atheist Church. Today's topic is Exegesis versus Eisegesis. And what do these terms actually mean? Well, exegesis means basically reading verses in context, and eisegesis is like putting a Frankenstein of verses together. So you're getting verses that really don't go together, but you're pushing them together so they make sense. Okay, so let's give an example. For an example of exegesis, let's take Isaiah 53. Okay, now most Christians are going to say Isaiah 53, which is the suffering servant passage, is talking about Jesus. Okay, that's what they're going to say. However, the chapter and verse breaks are pretty much just arbitrary, basically. Okay, so if you go on to Isaiah 44, you will clearly see that the suffering servant is not Jesus. The suffering servant is Israel. Okay, so exegesis would be saying Isaiah 53 is talking about Israel. Eisegesis would say the suffering servant is talking about Jesus. Okay. Another example of eisegesis. I know, right, Nevermore? Another example of eisegesis is in Genesis. I think it's Genesis 3. Not really sure. It talks about a talking snake. And Christians are going to say, well, the talking snake is Satan. All right, I've already told this 1,000 times, but the Christian idea of Satan is not the Jewish idea of Satan. In fact, the Jews don't even have anything resembling what the Christians would refer to as Satan. Okay? They just don't. And Genesis never, ever, ever says that the serpent is Satan. So where do they get this from? They go all the way to the fucking book of Revelation. And they say, see? The Revelation says that old serpent, the devil. So you take that old serpent, the devil, because John, who may or may not have written Revelation, let's be honest here, because John identifies the serpent as Satan. So obviously the serpent in Genesis has to be Satan. No. No, that's not how it works. So anyway, now the thing is, all apologists, and therefore, by extension, all churches, at least in the Christian world, I'm not sure about other religions. Well, yeah, I mean, I know Nevermore, but what John was it, you know, is what I'm getting at. So anyway, so so all Christian apologists and by extension churches use both exegesis and eisegesis. And they go back and forth, and they hope that you do not recognize this, and they hope that you don't think about it too long. Because if you do, you're going to find discrepancies. Well, I mean, you're even in an exegetical study, which we're going through in Saturday live stream, you're going to find discrepancies regardless. I mean, that's what Saturday live stream is all about, right? Let's just be honest here. But you find even more discrepancies if you go to an eisegetical reading of the Bible, you know? Now, there is one exception to this eisegetical reading, and it's not exactly an exception. For example, we can look at First Kings, Second Kings, First Chronicles, and Second Chronicles, and we can look at a verse in First and Second Kings and compare it to a verse in First and Second Chronicles. And you would think, because they come from two different books, that this would be an eisegetical reading. But if you look at First and Second Kings and First and Second Chronicles, they are basically covering the same time period. Basically, they don't cover the exact same time period, but for the most part, they cover the same time period. So you can get away with getting a verse of choosing a verse from First and Second Kings and comparing it to a verse in Second Chronicles. And the same thing goes for the Gospels in the New Testament. You can get away with that. That's not really eisegesis because, because they're covering the same time period. And by extension, they're covering the same events. So, and there are a lot of discrepancies, and I haven't gotten to Kings and Chronicles, of course, but we're going to get there, and we're going to see, exactly how fucked up Kings and Chronicles is. And also the Gospels whenever I get there. But anyway, the point is, you know, if you read the Bible, you're going to find out very quickly that it makes no fucking sense. No sense whatsoever. But Christians, they don't really read the Bible. And if they do, they only read the parts that their pastors want them to read. They don't read, for instance, the story of Jephthah's daughter, where Jephthah literally sacrifices his daughter to God. Okay? They don't tell you that one. They don't tell you that Jephthah sacrificed his daughter to God. They will tell you there's only one human sacrifice in the Bible, and that's Jesus. And that is just so fucking wrong. It's just wrong. So anyway, and also they're not gonna, there was a can't remember the chapter now, but it was in Genesis, I remember, where there was this widow who didn't have any children, and so she was supposed to marry her husband's brother, because that's what they did back then, because she didn't have any children, and the brother has to give seed to his brother if his brother dies without any kids. So it's totally fucked up, right? But anyway, so her father-in-law says to her, you know what? You've had all of my sons, and all of my sons have died, and I only have one son left, but he's a minor right now. Like, that doesn't stop you from marrying girls who are minors, but anyway, getting on with it. So the father-in-law explains to the daughter-in-law, I'm going to give you my son when he's grown up. I don't know what grown up means at this point in time. All right, but at any rate, so so the daughter-in-law finds out that the brother-in-law has come of age, and she still hasn't gotten him for her husband. So she goes and pretends to be a prostitute and waits in the gates of a city for her father-in-law, and her father-in-law sees her and says, hey, yeah, I want this prostitute. So he sleeps with her. And she says, well, I want such and such for sleeping with you. And the father-in-law, who doesn't know it's the daughter-in-law, says, okay, well, I'm going to have to go back and get it for you. And she says, well, I want some kind of a token that tells me you're going to come back. And so he says, okay, you can have my ring. So he gives her his ring, and then she comes back. And so this is a fucked up story, right? And so anyway, she comes back and she says, you know what? I tricked you into sleeping with me because you didn't give me your son. So anyway, like I said, fucked up story. But that's the Bible for you, because the Bible is fucked up, full of fucked up stories. Okay. Um, so anyway, and then you've got um I don't really know. Nevermore, yeah, you were. That was one of the other brothers. Same woman, just different brother. So anyway, so yeah, this is one fucked up book. But anyway, but they don't tell you that in Sunday school. They don't tell you that story in Sunday school, and you're never going to hear it in church. You're never going to hear about Jephthah's daughter, you know, and you're never going to hear about all the other fucked up stories. Now, the lesser fucked up stories, like the snakes going among the Israelites and biting them so they die unless they look at a bronze serpent. Yeah, they'll tell you about that, but they're gonna loop it in a way to say this is God's mercy. No. No, sorry. Nope, nope, nope. If God didn't send the venomous snakes to begin with, he wouldn't have needed to make a bronze snake in order to save the people's lives, okay? Just stop fucking trying to um hey, digital demonic divers, just try to just stop trying to defend your fucking God, because there is no defense for his fucking actions. Okay? There's just not. No excuse. No excuse. Especially since he's supposed to be all powerful. I mean, come on, you know. Um so yeah, I mean, I understand that these people have been brainwashed. Okay, I understand that, but when you get out of it, because I was born into it, okay, and I got out about 2, maybe 3 years ago, somewhere around there. Okay, when you get out of it, you realize just how fucked up this religion is. Yeah, digital demonic Davros. He sure couldn't beat Iron Chariot's now Kitty. So yeah. Um. So yeah. Don't Christians don't even try to defend your God to us, because you can't. Okay, you just can't. And So anyway. So yeah. That's actually all I have. I have talked about exegesis and eisegesis before, um, but I wanted to give a more kind of rounded, like more of a definition of the two, as well as examples of the two, and you know, um, especially with the chapter and verse divisions, you have to be really, really careful because, like I said before, those are arbitrary, and you really can't stop um, reading when a chapter ends, um, because it may not be the end of that story, so to speak. You really have to go farther down to see what is meant. Like I said, with Isaiah 53, if you continue on to Isaiah 54, you will find it is clearly talking about Israel and not Jesus. So, yeah. So, thanks for coming. Please leave a like. All social media links are in the description. If you'd like to join this channel, hit the join button and please leave comments in the comment section. I love hearing from you, and it also triggers the YouTube algorithm. So I will see you guys later. Thanks for coming. Bye.